Hey friends, you're listening to the If Only I Were Wiser podcast with Reyna Wilson, where wisdom and real life stories inspire and equip women to make the best choices for themselves and their families. In a world where it's easy to always feel like you're falling short, whether your health journey looks different than others or you're juggling a million things, this space is for you. This show is so much more than just wellness information. We're not here to add to the noise. Instead, we're here to equip you with wisdom in the areas you wish you were wiser, so you can find hope and joy as you navigate your unique healing journey. So grab a cup of coffee or turn up the volume over the sound of dishes and kiddos. Let's talk about what it really looks like to care for yourself and for the ones you love with grace, intention, and faith. Hey friends, welcome back to the If Only I Were Wiser podcast. I can't wait to dive into this episode with the ladies behind the Wives of the Armed Forces, Jen and Kirst. Now in this episode, they not only share all of their wisdom in military life, but things like dating new friends at new duty stations and how to thrive through time apart like deployments and TDYs. So there's so many good things. Whether you're a military spouse or you know a military spouse or you just need some encouragement in building community, this episode is for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. Friends, welcome back, Jen and Kirst, to the If Only I Were Wiser podcast.
Yes.
I say welcome back because this is a re-record, but I also just love you guys. I literally have a friend watching my son right now because my husband's in the field. And I was like, if you guys haven't heard of, Wives of the Armed Forces, this is an amazing resource.
Where you been?
I love
So if you guys want to just kick us off with a little bit about what life looks like for you right now.
Oh my.
it's crazy.
Again, yeah. How long do we have? We both just hit that, we've got to make some decisions. With our guys being pilots, we have a 10-year initial commitment, which I'm so grateful for because man, if I had to make this decision at 25, hold on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Would have been terrifying.
It would have been terrifying. Yeah. So thankfully we had 10 years to mentally prepare for what's going to happen. And for me and my husband, he just switched into the reserves after his 10 years of active duty. And we currently live at our reserve base.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah. So it's honestly, and then he flies still for Delta. And so for him, lifestyle wise, it's very similar. If anything, he is physically home more because he doesn't have to be desk bay anymore and just sit at a desk and wait for a phone to ring, which is what his old glorified job was. Mm-hmm. So now he's home when he's home. And when he's gone, he's definitely he's obviously still gone in the same way. But then I've got base access and I've got our old squadron friends that live down the road and I'm very familiar with the location. So it's a trip.
Yeah, I love that.
We had a quick little pivot in our planning. We were planning to take almost the exact same path where we were going to get out, do the guard unit here. And then my husband had 2 job offers from 2 different airlines that both have awesome opportunities out of this area. So we wouldn't have to leave. And then the Air Force came knocking with an offer that I made the joke of, if they can give us something that won't deploy you and would keep us here, sure, I'll take him up on it. And sure enough, they came knocking on the door and they're like, oh yeah, we'll do that for you. And you can go all the way to full retirement and have that guarantee. And I was like, okay, that's crazy. So still, I think kind of in that season, I'm honestly just always waiting for the rug to be pulled out from under me. As one does when you're in the but the transition is happening. He will be in the new squadron doing his new thing that we will be doing for the next 8 years next month. So yeah, we are staying put and we are in it for the long haul, which back to that 24-year-old me making this decision versus 35-year-old me making this decision is way different because I would have told the Air Force to kindly kick rocks.
Right.
Yep.
But, there's just a lot that factored into it. And we kept coming back to conversations about stability and, it was funny because you could argue it either way on either side for stability, and the stability that was on this side of the argument just won the battle. And we both felt really good about the decision.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. That's why we're at the duty station that we're at, was because do we want a unit that I'm going to know your schedule for the next year and a half? And I'm like, it's not a great schedule, but at least you're not deployable right now.
Yeah.
And And I know where you are, so I'm like, at least I can plan your field time into our lives for the next year and a half.
That actually marrying into the military is really just playing a large game of Would You Rather.
Yes. 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 The ultimate game.
Yes.
The ultimate game of Would You Rather. Yes. Well,
so funny.
That is perfect, because I would just love to kick off this conversation with almost your intro into military life and like speaking back to 21-year-old Reyna, you know, like those early 20s of starting what military spouse life looked like, and giving us a picture of that and what we wish we had known.
Yeah.
If you could speak back to her.
Oh my goodness. Oh. I mean, I get that. I got married at 21. I got married and still had to finish a month of college before I could move in with my husband. And so we did the long distance all the way through that beginning of marriage. And it really, I think that there was so much a part of it. And I think that this is just natural for being that age, that you just have to kind of try to go in with like a learning cap on and your listening ears.
Yeah, seriously.
Because it's not just going to like come right away. Like you're going to look at those spouses who have been in for 10 years who look so much older than we look right now. So wild. But you're going to look at them and be like, okay, like how do I get to be you like tomorrow?
Yes.
How do I get to like have your level of understanding? And as painful as it just really is going to take time and experience. But that person that you chose to get into this journey with is your best partner in this whole process. My favorite thing, as like I had a lot of heartache over my husband being like, hey, you kind of got to decide if you're in or you're out right now.
Yep.
Because this isn't really going to be for everybody, I was like, well, you're in it and I am obsessed with you. Yep. So do I want you to do this life with somebody else and come home to somebody else? Or do I want to be that person that you come home to? And like resting on that decision every time the going gets tough really grounded me, knowing I'm making the right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it for me was oddly familiar. I grew up in a law enforcement family, and you know the saying, like you marry your dad. Like, well, I did. So here we are. And I didn't know it then, but I definitely know it now. And I see so many similarities that I really cherish about my father. And then it's been so cool because through that, I've been able to channel my mother and how she handled our lives growing up. And I don't look back with angst on my lifestyle growing up as, you know, a kid of a cop. Like I don't, sure. My dad was gone and we made a lot of sacrifices here, there, and everywhere. He worked night shifts at certain times, but even then my mom always kind of trained us to look at that as an opportunity. So when my dad was gone for 3 months at the FBI Academy, you know, we, of course, that was hard on my mom. She had 2 teenage girls and she was working full time and he was gone. It was a lot. And she never once made us feel burdened by that and said it was like, this is going to be an exciting adventure we get to go on together. Like, it's us girls. We're going to do it. We're going to do this so that your dad can do this awesome thing for us. And so I just had that in the back of my mind always. And that doesn't mean that it was always easy. I mean, I very much got to our first assignment. We were dating. He was gone a lot. This is where I met Jen. And the pace in that plane at that particular time was insane. Insane. And we just he didn't know to be able to prepare me for that, what he was getting into. Obviously, neither did I. But I just remember sitting in our house, looking around, what am I doing here? You know, I'm going to work, which I was doing already back in Iowa, and you're not here half the time. It's like, what am I doing? And just having to really level with him of what does this look like for us? You know, what is this how it's always going to be? And him being honest with me of I don't know. Right. I'm learning with you. And then just saying, I need support locally. And he heard that and he hit the ground running, got me connected with Jen through her husband. And that was really when I saw this is a partnership. I am not in this by myself. It is not the expectation that I have to do this all on my own. And that laid such a strong foundation for the years to come.
No, I love that. Jen, even just you touching on I'm choosing you. That was wild. I don't know if you guys can speak to this as well. Talking with civilian friends of the common comment that we got initially was, well, you signed up for this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. When we were sharing our woes of hey, this is heavy. I'm just really struggling. we just PCS'd, we just got married 6 days ago, and now he's gone for 2 weeks, and I'm in a new place, a new apartment, and I don't even know where Target is.
Yeah.
So how would you like combat those initial thoughts, maybe whether it's civilian, friends, or family, that it's like almost not being the encouraging voices when you are walking through all of those initial hards?
Yeah. Kirst?
I feel like there's a season to allow those people in your life, and then there's a season to not. Like, you really have to be protective with what's best for your marriage, and that comes to everything: family, friends, you know, any facet of your community. You have to be really thoughtful about who you're giving time and space to, because it will have a direct impact on your marriage. Yeah. And so if those people, and it doesn't mean that you need to, you know, make a big grandiose statement of like, you're cut out of my life because you're so negative. It's more so just like, okay, this relationship is not serving me right now. I'm going to take some space from it, and there might be a time to revisit it. But you have to know if that energy is serving you or if it's hurting you. And then you have to make some decisions jointly with your spouse, likely, of how you're going to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. We've talked about it, like lovingly putting them like in a box and understanding what box they belong in, whether it's the things that they're saying that might come up a little judgy, whether it's the things that they're saying that might stir up a little bit of anxiety within you. Like, we all have those people in our life that's like, hey, when was the last time you heard from your spouse? It's like, oh, wait, wow.
When was this?
Yeah. Like instant sweat.
Yeah, exactly. And so knowing like, okay, maybe that's not a person that I'm going to tell, like, when my spouse is out of town, solely so they don't ask me those questions. Like, whenever they get back, I'll let them know, like, oh, hey, he's on the trip and la-di-da. But in the meantime, so understanding like, hey, how much do I need to share to all these people is super good. And then that can lead into like, hey, what can I expect from them to give into our relationship? Is that somebody that I can expect to not come and visit? How can I love them from afar? And how can I pour into people who are going to come and visit that's going to benefit me for times like whenever they're deployed and I need a buddy, and who can I count on, and all of those things.
And I would say, if you're hearing this and you're like, well, I can't cut this person out. Like, the person that's doing that to me is not someone I can cut out. Sure. You can teach people how to be helpful to you in a really gracious and kind way. And that would be my encouragement of go to them very candidly and say, like, I know that you didn't mean for that to make me feel this way, but it does, because I'm already experiencing anxiety, hurt, struggle. So this is something that would be helpful. Like, when I come to you with this problem, instead of throwing it back in my face, you know, talk me through it. Help me find a productive way to move forward. Because I also can see like how from the receiving end of that, you know, us constantly complaining, that's a burden for them to carry too. And they're like, at some point, like, you got to level with them. They're like, hey, you know, if all of this is not such a surprise, you knew some of this was going to come. How can we move forward in a way that makes you feel empowered? Like, you can thrive in this lifestyle despite it.
Yeah. And I think that something that I've learned recently is like, you go through life and things just start happening. And then you talk to people who are years beyond you, and you realize whether you're military or civilian, life is not easy for anybody. In the military, we kind of get it in a very condensed timeline. So we have a lot of exponential growth and resiliency that like a lot of people might spend their entire life working towards. Yeah. So if you could take a step back from that situation and think how you, like Kirsten was saying, talk through it with that person of how you're processing to become more resilient. Who knows? That could pay off for them in 10 years when they go through something really hard in their life and they reflect back to like, wow, I noticed that my friend did this and this and this to help them through. Like, that can be what I do now.
And even just having the conversation, I think, Kirst, you hit the nail on the head of, this is how you can actually serve me. So like having the conversation with friends and family during seasons of travel and transiency and just like military life, being like, hey, instead of this, I would love for you to take my toddler so I can clean the house. That would be really loving. Or you know what? If you can send pizza gift cards, because we're surviving on pizza movie nights, I would love Domino's gift cards because they deliver on post. So that would be great. And just like coming up almost with a list of things that my husband and I have talked through. What are healthy things to have in place to ask for during hard seasons?
Yeah. That's so smart.
feels so good to be on the giving side of that too, of like you're contributing in a meaningful way to someone's life. And even on a deeper level of like to the military who sacrifice so much. Like that's a cool gift to be able to give to somebody too.
Yeah, I think that's where military spouses really are forces within their community, whether it's within their military community or in the civilian space. Like at some point we just know how to ask for what we want, and we know what we want and what we need. And so whenever you stick a military spouse into, I hear everybody whenever they get out that they're like, man, you are the most direct person I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
And you think back to your 21-year-old self who like, I think I would have withered on the floor and just died right there before asking somebody.
Absolutely. And I think back to, because I would love to touch on like loneliness seasons and seasons of uncertainty, which feels like a lot of the time sometimes. Because I went to a community group. My husband was at Ranger School, and I remember looking at these women much older than me, life stages ahead of me with grown kids. And I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
You know, like truly, how do you do this? Kind of specifically speaking to loneliness and those seasons apart.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely have experienced it a lot. And it's so funny that how do you do this? Again, talking to the brand new spouse, it is hard to understand how somebody does it with their multiple children by themselves, but like you baby step your way there. You're not jumping from first year of marriage to 12th year with kids and 16 PCSs under your belt. You do it one step at a time, which hopefully brings somebody peace. I think about it right now. Our current life situation is we had one baby with COVID. So life was pretty slow because of naturally COVID. Then my husband's ops tempo got crazy. We had another kid. Ops tempo was crazy. He wasn't around very much. We've now had a third kid. And he's looking around like, where did all these kids come from? And how do I do this? I'm like, oh, wait, you never did the 2-kid thing.
Yeah.
You skipped that. So now you're having to do the 3-kid thing. And you're like, I didn't have a building block for this.
Right.
So it really does just step onto each other. But I think that when it comes to the loneliness, I think that that's where you just got to put your self-advocate pants on. Only you are in charge of yourself and your happiness. And you cannot depend on other people. You should hopefully be able to find people to depend on eventually. But for your own happiness, you cannot depend on other people, to include your spouse.
Yeah.
So when they're gone, what are you doing for yourself to step out there, to make the first ask whenever you see somebody? I mean, we talk about dating like it is, or dating, making new friends as an adult is just like dating.
It is dating. Yeah.
It is dating. I literally met a lady the other day and 2 weeks ago, and I'm still thinking about it. I didn't ask for her number. My husband's like, do I need to be worried about something? I'm like, I just don't know. Like, I'm going to have to stalk her and find her.
Hopefully she's in one of these Facebook pages that I'm in.
She was clearly open to friendship. Like I could tell.
Yeah.
She was giving the vibes.
Yeah.
It really is just like dating.
Yeah.
And so putting yourself out there, and then obviously it is two people coming together. So when Kirsten and I were friends, and just starting our relationship, like I am hot and heavy. Like, actually, I just met you. I think we're clicking. Should you just like stay the night tonight? And then we're just going to hang for 72 straight hours.
Jen ghosted me for like 6 months, and I had to like, which is out of my character for me. But I was in that season of like self-advocacy. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I don't care if I look like a desperate, embarrassing person. Like, I need to meet people, and I've only met 3, and you're one of the 3. So I'm putting my feelers out with everybody.
Right.
Yeah, I think the loneliness piece of it is, for me, it was very much tied to my self-identity and how, I viewed myself. And at that point in time, what shocked me was so much of my identity was wrapped up in what I did for work. And so then when that shifted, when we PCS, I was like, whoa, like, who am I? Who am I? Like, you can't advocate for yourself if you don't know yourself. You know, your confidence is nil. So I think that's another huge part of it too, is being very aware of who you are, what you love. And when I say who you are, like not tying it to things, like tying it to your beliefs and your morals and your values, like understand the type of friends you're trying to attract, put that out there. And then you will be, next thing you're going to look around, you're going to be surrounded by really great people that fill you up.
Yeah. I mean, because I think about the ickiest times that I've felt like I've approached a new situation. I've been a lot of talk. Like a lot of, I need to hyper explain that, like, I'm a good time.
Sure.
If I could have just like rested on the fact that like I'm a solid friend, I'm a loyal person, I'm here for you, like that will be able to be seen. I don't need to be like putting on a front so that people think I'm a type of way.
This is probably why we became such good friends. Because Jen was the opposite with me.
Yeah.
Like, give me more.
And honestly, I think that I met Kirsten after I had gone through my thirsty era at McCord. I was more established there. Yeah. She came a few months after me, which is, I think, helpful. Although we both experienced first assignment together, which goodness gracious, those first assignment friends are just gems.
Yes.
Something else for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Trial by fire, going through it together.
Yeah, just wide-eyed and like completely clueless.
No, seriously. I'm still Marco Poloing friends from our first duty station.
Love.
Of like,
best.
Oh, do you remember when our babies would play naked in the backyard? Yes. I wish I could walk to your house, you know?
Yes.
And just like holding on to those friendships.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things I didn't realize coming into the military, because we didn't have any military experience. I grew up in a like federal government household, but we weren't moving.
Yeah.
You know, so then when I talked to people as we were getting married and then realizing both like the grief and joy that comes with making the depths of friends that you do is truly something else, because these are the women that are across the country, across the world, literally right now. And just like, hey, what's your WhatsApp?
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, great, you guys are going to have a baby. I love you. I miss you.
Yep.
And it doesn't change because she's thousands and thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you go years without seeing each other sometimes. And that's my encouragement too to anybody that's listening that is entering into this lifestyle is the military is very small. And it has a funny way of bringing people back to you. And can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. Meaning, you know, you have to be very careful about your interactions with people. And I don't say that to scare anybody, but just be really thoughtful.
Intentional.
Like this life can feel disposable sometimes. I'm like, well, when I leave this space, I'm never going to see that person again. And I'm like, whoa. You never know. So like you have to be really thoughtful with your interactions in that way too. But also on the hopeful side of it could bring you full and well right back to your friend. Jen and I have yet to experience that. Never will at this point. We've chalked up the loss. But
what we're calling a win is we're currently a direct flight from each other.
Yeah,
I love that.
6-hour direct flight.
Sure.
Direct flight. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. And the beauty I realize in that is like the fact that not only will I have connections all over the world, but I can confidently send friends to other duty stations across branches and be like, great, I love you. I may not be there with you, but guess what? I have 2 friends that just got there. Please go love them. You know,
honestly,
the best.
That seriously is so amazing. We had a friend that had a loss in the family, like as soon as they got to a new location. And I had a squadron friend that was there at that location and being able to be like, I wish that I could fly to you. I think I had like a new baby. And so I was like, I wish I could fly to you. I cannot. I can ask this person to literally come and watch your children so you can go cry.
Yeah.
And that is like the best feeling. But I think that right now is like the heyday of military life because we have all the technology, we have all the travel, all of the things. And I think at least for Kirsten and I, that's been really big for us and is kind of a joke now is as long as I have something on the books, like I know I'm going to see you here at this time. Same thing for family. I know when the next time I'm going to see you, it's so much easier. And that might be like, I know I'm going to see you in the spring of 27, and I'm holding on to that.
Yeah, right.
My beacon of hope.
No, for sure. We're having this baby this fall, and I'm like, great, you are a direct flight hours.
Yes.
Great. You're a 3-hour drive now, not a 16-hour drive. Okay, let's schedule everybody to come see the baby.
Yes.
And it just makes things truly so much easier.
Yes. Yeah. It really does.
I know. It's so funny to be like, okay, who's going to come see me when I'm 16 hours away? And then that's when you feel like the real joy when you're just 3 hours away. You're like, wow, it's like you are my neighbor.
Yeah, basically. That gets me thinking about specifically for like deployments, long TDYs, is, for example, setting stuff on the calendar something that gets you through? Or how do you guys tangibly set yourselves up for success through those long seasons apart?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a very goal-oriented person just in general. So again, like goes back to knowing yourself and knowing what fuels you. But I also am very much like an extroverted introvert. Like I very much like being at home by myself, which I know scares some people. But it brings me a lot of peace. And so it's a balance of that, of I need to know that I can get through this, and not like a way of torturing myself, but I also know when I've hit my limits. So for me, the hardest parts of any time, a longer time, like a long TDY or a deployment, are the first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks. I need like support on those ends. The middle, I can get in my rhythm and be go, go, go. Like, it's nice to have people pop in here and there, but I'm like, my sister came and stayed with me for the last 2 weeks of my husband's deployment. And it was everything I needed, because my emotions were just constantly like this. Yeah. So that's, again, like, know yourself very well. But yeah, I mean, check in with yourself. Have the people too that you can call last minute. Like, I know there's a handful of people I can call and be like, I am not well. I need you to come here. Yeah. And those people are invaluable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I'm the same way. I mean, the only other thing for me is just like looking at, and I know Kirsten's the same way, having like a challenge for myself, like a personal wellness, like, hey, I'm going to improve this. I'm going to improve my rhythms. I'm going to learn a new thing. Something that makes it feel like it's like a productive separation versus I'm just over here floating around. Especially because they're experiencing something new. Right. And so I think that it's really helpful to then be able to bring that to the conversation whenever you guys are able to talk. And we talk a lot about there's cards that you can get on Amazon for like conversation starters. Mm-hmm. There's, Kirsten, what's the name of the app? Do you remember? Lovewick. Yes. Mm. That's like, you can do virtual dates with your partner. Cause we all know that after the first maybe week, maybe 2 weeks, you get on the phone and you're like, I love you and I miss you so much and I have nothing to say.
Yeah, you're like, so how was your day? They're like, well, I went and had breakfast at the cafeteria. Great. And I had to do some stuff that I can't talk to you about. You're like, cool.
Right.
Great. Cool. Yeah. It's like that. And then, I love planning a vacation. Or something. Okay. Yes. Like, it doesn't have to be anything grandiose either. Like, it could be a staycation, but just something that you're planning together. It really gives you both light at the end of the tunnel energy. And it doesn't even have to be for like the day they get back. It can be for 4 months after they get back. It's just something to look forward to that you jointly can share excitement about.
Yeah, I just had that conversation with a friend because the unit station here just got home. Mm-hmm. And they just went to Disney. I'm like, wonderful. Yeah. I'm so happy that you guys went to Disney.
Yeah. That's so good. I feel like all of our like post-deployment comings together are just like mini honeymoons that you get. Wow. Thank you, military, for this additional.
Because I didn't have the one at
the real one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. How do you guys do that with kids? Because I feel like kids, and again, I still have littles, but it adds another layer to the missing daddy, like to the missing your spouse.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because I feel like every kid is different, and it's probably an age thing too. At least with my kids, like there's certain books that are out there to like support your kid. And there is a specific book that my oldest loathes.
Really?
Absolutely hates. She's like, it makes me so sad.
I know exactly what book Jen's talking about. I received this book. I opened it up and read it one time with my kids and immediately got rid of it.
Oh, man.
It's not a bad book.
I have it on my bookshelf over here.
My gosh. It is, but it is unique to kid, like to each kid, and how your family talks about it and approaches it. So you have to be, same boundaries there. Like you have to be very protective with your kids as well. Of, I know that there was a Bluey episode that really upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I watched it. And I was like, oh, like that. I don't think that my kids haven't watched it. We just haven't got there yet. But like I don't think it would bother them in the same way that it bothered other people. And sometimes I think we as adults make very big assumptions about kids and how they're going to react to something. And 99.9% of the time, they're just feeding off of your energy. The adult in the house, like, how are you handling this? And that means like sometimes saying to my kids, I am sad when dad's gone too. I miss him terribly. And like, this is harder when dad's not here because dad is such a help to our family. So now they'll say back to me like, are you just having a sad day because dad's gone? Yeah. And that's such a cool thing to teach your child. And what a gift that they're going to be able to reason with themselves later in life of recognizing like, I'm sad and that's okay.
Yeah. We literally had that conversation this morning.
Yeah, because you can recognize that in yourself, and then your kid can just go walk around all day being pissed off at the world, and you're like, hey, let me call this out in you because I see that this is what's happening. Yeah. We just had an episode go up with Dr. Monica, and she is a military spouse who's also a mom and a Kirsten Credentials
She's a PhD.
Yeah. And it was interesting to hear her perspective. And I think that it can also depend on the lifestyle. Like while our kids were younger, deployments can get extended. So like I see these countdown chains and I'm like, that stresses me out.
You're at midnight, like clipping more on.
Yes. I've had friends that add more, what is it, kisses to the jar?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't really tell you that daddy's going to be home in 2 weeks. Like that's kind of stressful. But maybe what we can do is just talk about the emotions as he's about to come home. Because something that she had brought up was bringing your kids along on the reintegration conversation. I think it's been a lot between me and my husband of, hey, by the way, when you get home, like I'm going to step out. That's my like MO. I want to step away so that they can bond without mom being right there and hovering. And I am the magnet. Right. So when you're in the room as mom, the kids are still like, hey mom, can you open this for me? Hey mom, I need a hug. Hey mom. And it's like, go to your dad. So I just leave instead. But being able to have that conversation with the kids too, especially as they get older, of like, hey, dad's going to come home. You guys are going to go on a date. Y'all are going to hang out together. He's going to do some bedtimes now. And how are you feeling about that? Are you excited about him coming home and all of that stuff? I think is just really good.
And I'll say to just further hit home Jen's point of, if you, like anything with kids, if you lay that foundation early and often and really prioritize that communication and including them in a way that's developmentally appropriate, right? Like you don't want to be dumping your feelings on them. But if you can bring them along on the ride and lay that foundation, I'm starting to see, like my oldest is 6. And I'm really starting to see them handling it without a whole lot of intervention from me. Like we're handling it as a unit versus me having to like get down on their level and explain it all. And I mean, the nature of my husband's job is come, go. Like he's in, out all the time. And it really doesn't, they used to cry when he would be getting ready to go. And we can all feel that when he's getting ready to go, our tension go up a little bit. But then we also know, similar to what I was talking about earlier, like my mom's mentality, I have adopted that of like, we're going on an adventure. Like we're going to make this fun. We're going to do things differently. I was just talking to a friend on Marco Polo today. I'll never forget it. When she had her second, she called me in a panic. Like, how do I do bedtime with 2 kids under 2 years old by myself? And I was like, because she was explaining it to me. And I was like, time out. Like, stop trying to do it the way you're doing it when you have 2 adults. You have to do it like you have 1 adult because that's all you got. Like, there's only 2 arms. So, and she goes, that just gave me so much freedom in that moment to just think differently about it. Of like, there's ops when dad's home and then there's ops when dad's away. And that's okay, that it looks different.
Yeah. And I think really to what you were saying earlier about your experience with your dad, Kirsten, I think it's the same with these guys. I mean, my dad was in a business job and it was corporate and he would do travel or he would do long hours and stuff. And he still is my favorite person. I don't really remember being sad that he wasn't around. My mom will always reflect. It sounds like she was in the military. She'll reflect back on our young years and she's like, it was all me. Your dad was never there. Like they would move into a different job and she would tell him like, go work 12-hour shifts. I've got the kids. You have 3 months. And I was like, whoa, that is kind of intense to choose that on your own. I don't know if I could do that. But having that mindset of talking to the kids and saying like, when they're going on a TDY, hey, he is doing this so he can learn more for his career and so that our family can be provided for. And we are so grateful that your dad is doing that or your mom is doing that for our family. My husband just did a training for his new job and that was a big conversation that we had. Like, I totally understand, like we can miss dad, but we are so
excited.
You see it come full circle too with like the Purple Up days and all that stuff. Like they get school aged and you see the community celebrating military. And my kids are now starting to take so much pride of like, I'm a military kid, not like I'm a military kid. I'm like, yes, I love this. Like celebrate it. You're sacrificing so much.
Would it be the same approach then for like the seasons of uncertainty of the, hey, I'm going to go, or actually, I was supposed to leave 2 weeks later, but now I'm leaving tomorrow. Like, how do you prepare your family or what do you cling to as a spouse during those seasons? Like, well, cool. Like for example, my husband just pulled up. I'm like, wasn't supposed to see you today. Well,
oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Hi.
Yes.
I think you're leaving again. I think you're just grabbing your food for the next 6 days, but okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, the time that I experienced that was like low-key really dramatic because I was 37 weeks pregnant and my husband got called to Ukraine within 5 hours. And so that was a very quick call to my mom of, hey, I know you're planning on coming out in 2 weeks. I need you here like right tomorrow.
Now. Yeah.
Because I don't know when we had no idea when he was coming home.
Right.
I mean, it was hard. And I think that for Kurt, I called Kirsten immediately and I had my oldest was like 1.5, or she had just turned 2. And I just cried to Kirsten. Like, I was like, I'm not handling this well. And that is okay. Like, I think it would be robotic of me.
Mm-hmm. I was like, if you were laughing about this, I would be on a plane right now. Yeah. Like, it's checking you into a mental health facility. Like,
yes. But it's almost like getting punched in the nose. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. That came out of nowhere. Like, these tears are just here. And so that's where we go into the 24-hour rule of like, hey, you feel those feels. Like, that is crazy and really hard. Whether it's they're going or that unfortunate call of, hey, we're actually going to stay for another 2 months. I know I've been gone for 6 months already. Yeah. Like, you can be upset about that. Then after 24 hours, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. How are we getting through? I immediately went through all of my local contacts that I trusted and was like, hey, by the way, Rob's gone. I might need help. Yep. Mm-hmm. Could you do this? I definitely asked different people for meals, all of the things. Cause I was just, when it's 5 hours, like, I'm like, I can't even go to Costco in that time. Like I need someone to do groceries for me. So, and this is where we're always like, dig into your community early before those things happen. Because if I didn't have any community, like, what would I have done at that point? I would have figured it out. But you don't want to have to be figuring it out in those moments.
Yeah, we sometimes get some hate online about being like Pollyanna or what is it? Toxic positivity.
Positivity.
Yeah. And like, I think that's such a load, And like what we're talking about is not burying your head in the sand and just acting like bad things don't happen. What we're saying is in life, it is not guaranteed to come without suffering. Exactly. Literally the opposite.
It's promised. It's promised.
Yep. Yeah, it's guaranteed. So, when you have that guarantee and you know that to be true, especially when you have a good faith foundation, when you start switching your mindset to look at this like punishment, like what did I do wrong to deserve this? And start looking at this like this is a season of growth for me and I have an opportunity here to make the most out of it. And you bring your family along on that journey. I mean, this is discipleship at its core of people 1,000%. Watching you handle something with so much grace. And that doesn't mean you're not crying about it or that you're not struggling with it. It just means like you have faith in something bigger than yourself, that you are equipped and you will handle it and life will go on. And I think that that's a huge part of it. Like you have that 24 hours. Like, I mean, Jesus had it be angry, Please take this from me. Take this from me. Yes. I should not be doing this. Have that. But then also like you still got to show up, and that's our calling. And I think that is a huge asset. If you are someone of faith, like you can lean so strongly into that and really come out on the other side very proud of what you learned in that season.
Oh, 1,000%. I had that experience this morning. I had a friend that texted me and was like, hey, how can I pray for you today? I'm like, let me lay it out.
How much time are you spending in prayer?
Yeah. Are you fasting?
Yeah. He's like, can I just add all of these things? Yeah. And it gets me thinking about community. We talked a little bit before we started recording, but like, what truly is the power of community in a military setting? Because I know we can all speak to our own experiences of like, it has saved our life in so many different seasons.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's life-giving.
Yeah. We were not meant to do life alone. We were not. And it's like, I mean, there's so much in this culture that is so toxic right now. And it's so funny because I don't hear a lot of people calling out that like, I can do it all by myself mentality. Like people are moving away from their families by choice more than ever, leaving their communities more than ever. And ironically, nobody's really happy right now. Exactly. So it's like, let's correlate that back to we were not supposed to be doing it all on our And I think that's where that chosen family that you choose from your Air Force, oh my goodness gracious, from your military life, that is such a blessing. And thankfully, I feel like more people in the military have that mindset than don't. Yeah. And so they understand when you say, okay, cool, it's Christmas tomorrow, so we're all going to do this together, right?
Right.
And where, like, in civilian worlds, it's like, well, I have my family things, like, I probably can't do it. It's like, even if my parents were here, I would still be like, yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You're coming.
Yeah. Everybody's gone for Easter. We're meeting at your house?
Yeah.
You're doing all of the eggs for all of the kids. I'm going to bring eggs and candy. Yeah. Lovely.
Yep. I've never made an egg hunt myself. Yeah. In all the years, I just show up to wherever the egg hunt is. I'm like, here I am, guys.
Great.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely think that it is something else. And I think that's where it can be really intimidating. Again, whenever you're a new spouse and you're like, y'all know each other and you've been at 3 different assignments together. And I've never been at an assignment with somebody that I've been at an assignment with previously. Like that's never been part of our journey, honestly, until we got out, LOL. Yeah. And then now we are neighbors with people in our old squadron. And so I just think that your journey and your community journey is going to be its own. It's going to look different than your friends, and where you find those connections. We talk a lot about within the military community, but also when you go to church and you see the person that is a local. I love having a local friend. Yep. That's amazing. Their life is not as tumultuous as mine is. And so we can just meet up a lot more often than probably my military friends who's trying to balance their own family. So, just having like eyes wide open. I mean, that no new friends has no place here.
Yeah.
Yep. It is like new friends all the time. I mean, some of our friendships have even joked like, I was kind of shut off to friends because I was thinking I was leaving within 6 months. And within 6 months, you and I became like hot and heavy friends.
Yes.
And what would have happened if I just said, no, really, I'm not having new friends because I'm leaving in 6 months? Yep. Like, you would miss out on that person. And what a loss.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, I just was texting our sweet neighbors right next door. I'm like, if your ears are ever burning, it's just me bragging about how grateful I am for you.
That's so sweet.
Because, I mean, anything. First of all, they do it in such a tactful way of, knowing that we're just like chaos. I feel like over here, like in, out, in, out. Like just yesterday, she dropped an Easter basket over the fence for us because we share a fence. And it's just like sitting on the edge of the fence. Yeah. I'm like, so sweet. But then I texted her later. I'm like, speaking of the Easter basket, thank you. But also, I need your email address because they're updating the emergency contact form at kids' school. And do you still want to do that?
Emergency contact, yeah.
And she was like, amazing. I would be honored. That was her response. And I'm like, when you find those people, you hold on to them. And, they're not military. They don't have any affiliation. They have no clue for the longest time, they didn't even know that Anthony was a pilot. Sure. It doesn't matter. They just want to be helpful and they want to be neighborly and, not feeling guilty about giving them the opportunity to do that is so huge.
Not feeling guilty about giving them the opportunity to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think one of the best things, I had one military spouse, her husband was Navy. I had one conversation before we got married because we had no military experience. And she said, I know you're going to get assignments. You don't know where you're going. You don't know anybody. But the biggest lie the enemy can tell you is if you're only there for 6 months, that it's not worth it. And she said, that is BS. She said, the best thing that you can do walking into a new place is jump in head first.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And that has truly been the most healing thing for our family. Even like PCSing, like we said, from Fort Benning, we were there for 10 months. And that was probably one of the best experiences at a duty station we've had over the past 5-6 years.
Which most people would say, I'm sorry, you're only there for 10 months. Like that's such a crazy season in your life.
And I was like, no, you don't understand. I have best friends
there. Oh my gosh.
That I probably wouldn't have met otherwise. So like for us, it's like finding a church is the number one priority for us. So it's like we started out here at Chapel, dove in head first. Thankfully, we had friends that we knew at other duty stations. And at least gets our feet wet, you know?
Right.
So what are the other places that you guys do that?
Church has been a pivotal part, I think, in every, like looking back in hindsight, I'm like, the church was a center of all of my community beginnings, it seems
1,000%.
I mean, another place, I was cracking up because today I was at the gym And I was going to the bathroom, and there, you know, you leave your water bottle and your phone and other things like on this counter, and then you go into the bathroom. And I was looking over, and the one of the water bottles had the seal of my husband's soon-to-be squadron in it. And I was like, look, you know, like under the stall, like whose shoes are those? So I can find out who it is. But you know, it's like those are great places. When your kids become school age too, like that's such an easy way to weave yourself in. This area, it feels like a little bit of a cheat code because there's so much military here. I'm having the opposite problem. I'm like, I need the military people to stay away from me. I'm trying to meet non-military friends.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, it's like you just really back to that conversation about like who you are, your identity, and the energy you're projecting. Of people will be drawn to you if you're genuinely open to meeting them. You know?
Yeah, and weren't you just saying the other day, like you were making friends with somebody and then you found out they were a military spouse? You're like, gosh dang it. Not like you're trying to have no military friends, but like, of course we find each other.
Yes.
And relate to each other on so many different levels.
Yeah. They're the only two people in the room like making eye contact with other people. You're like, you know, pick me.
Yes.
Yeah. Libraries for us have been huge. The parks.
Yes.
Start making friends. We talk to people at the park.
Which is such a good low entry friend date too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you have kids, like you want to meet at the park, you know? But when it was pre-kids,
neutral ground,
it was coffee. Because I always like to have like a entry that has an end time. Like Jen and I, we went to a baseball game. We're like, okay, there's a start and there's a finish, and it's not awkward to leave. So that's always a little
dinner
active.
is like too much.
Yeah.
Dinner, that's like second base. We're first base coffee, like maximum you can do 2 hours there, and you're not having to like shove
at a counter, and then you're sitting down together. Not where they're like, are you guys together or like separate? Checks? And you're like, I can't be doing this with you.
Yeah, exactly. So as we get closer to wrapping up, I'm curious, what encouragement would you give to the women that are hearing or saying like, I could never, and just like almost the anxiety that comes with like military life in general, because like we had no experience walking in, and that was just like the common theme that came around, like, oh well, I couldn't do what you do, or you know, and Jen, you kind of already touched on this. It's like you're not going from somebody's year 1 to year 12 in service, but like how would you speak to the anxiety of just the trepidation?
Yeah.
It kind of just surrounds
I also think, just for the record, I think that there's more people that don't have military experience. I would love to see the data on this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is more common.
Sure.
To not have any military background and be involved in this, but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like you're entering into like a secret club that everyone knows all the things. So just that's like one piece of encouragement is we often assume the worst, and typically that's not the reality of the situation. So just peel that back a little bit for yourself.
Sure.
Yeah. Military life is like one big mental and emotional workout. And we always talk about how like when your spouse is gone, it's like you're having to like work these muscles that you're not used to working anymore. Like, oh man, now I'm having to split my whole body into 2 different people and do all these things. And I mean, whenever you're home by yourself and you're the one having to call the electrician, and then you're standing there being like, I was raised to never answer the door to somebody coming to my house, and now I'm the only person here.
You're with the
to
pepper
let this
spray,
strange
like,
man
yes.
in. Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. And I think like there's so many things in life that are anxiety inducing, and I'm going to say things and I want Kirsten to correct me or say it in the more professional way because she actually has a background in psych. But anxiety in all aspects of life, it can like cut ruts into your brain the more you let it into your life. So the more you're like, oh, that's a social setting, I'm just going to sit here and be anxious about it. That rut is going to be deeper. And so you are going to naturally just start going there versus naturally going into, but here's how I can overcome it, until you start working on that rut and the overcoming rut and the determination of, I am going to be able to figure it out. I'm going to overpower my anxiety. It is another muscle that you have to start working. Otherwise, you're going to stay in that anxiety. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Kirsten?
Yeah, no, I think that visual is a great visual. I always look at it like a circle, right? Like your thoughts lead to your emotions lead to your behaviors, and it's just constantly going. And once you're on that, you're just going. So unless you break that, you know, you're just going to be doing the same old thing over and over again, and then wonder why it never changes, which is crazy, right? We know that by definition. I think a huge part of it is reminding yourself that you are capable of doing hard things.
Yeah.
And we look back in life with so much clarity of like, I going to college. That's when I cried to my mom and dad the entire first week and begged them, can I please come back to visit you? I miss you already. And now I look back and I'm like, what a weenie. Like, like I loved college. And imagine if I would have given up on that, I would not have the friends that I'm close with today. I would not have the experience that I've had. It really matters to challenge yourself and put yourself in situations that make you feel uncomfy, not scared in like for your personal safety way, but uncomfortable emotionally, and be vulnerable and put yourself out there. The best relationships you have in life, I will guarantee you, were born out of a place of vulnerability, whether it's your marriage or whether it's a friendship or even within your family. So just challenging yourself of, I'm made to do hard things. I'm equipped to do this. I would not be here if I was not equipped to do this, and that you can push through. And on the other side of it, you're going to be a better person and be very proud of the growth that you experience because of it.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
Another thing that I think is really helpful going into those new situations is taking yourself out of it. Like lovingly, it's not just all about you. And that hopefully takes a load off of your chest. You are not going to be walking into that room with like flashlights on you and it is like the Jen show and everyone's there to talk to you. And no, if you get in there and think there might be somebody else who is also worried, how could I serve them? How could I talk to them and set and make a comfortable environment for others, even as a brand new person? Like how many times, unfortunately, has a brand new person come in and you're like, wow, that person is a rock star. Like I wasn't even having a good time until they got here and they're new. Like what in the world?
Yeah.
And so thinking about just, you might make a connection there, but you might be a connection that somebody else needs to make the connection that they need.
Yeah. I think that's a really important point. Taking the pressure off too of like, you don't need to go, you're not going to move to every neighborhood and have a neighbor like I had. This is my third location. It was the first neighbor I've had like that.
Right.
There's been other people in my community at other locations that have filled that role, but like this is the first next door neighbor I've had in that scenario. I mean, I met Jen at my first assignment. I didn't go to my first assignment expecting that. I actually went quite literally with the opposite intentions. It's like, I have great friends from college. Like, I don't need another one. And so just taking that pressure off of it too, of it's okay for you to just have a friend that gets you through an assignment. It doesn't have to be that deep if it's not naturally going to that place, and that's okay too. But yeah, I mean, like everyone's awkward. Everyone says stuff that they think about later, like, why did that come out of my mouth? But like none of us remember it, like I cannot sit here and tell you awkward things that people have said to me because I don't care. It's like, oh, you're being vulnerable with me. Like I see through that and I appreciate that so much more.
No, for sure. And we've even realized that with this PCS was our neighbors at Benning brought us cookies our first day and our HHG hadn't gotten there. So I was like, please come in. We have 5 toys on the floor, but I don't know. It's an empty house. Kids love to run through those. Go for it.
Yes.
And so when we got here, I was like, I'm going to make cookies for our neighbors. I don't know if we're going to be best friends, and maybe we'll, maybe we won't. But like, I knew what that felt like.
Love that.
For somebody to come over and bring me cookies and invite me over for dinner. Because our stuff, we don't literally sleep on air mattresses. And to have a warm meal.
Yep.
And that made all the difference.
Yeah.
I love
so
that.
You guys, this has been so beautiful. Where can we get connected? Where's just the place to get all of our WAF spouses plugged in?
Oh my gosh.
Instagram is like
all the different places.
Yeah, Instagram will get you to a lot of different places. So will our website, which is getting a little bit of a refresh here soon. So it's going to be even better.
Okay.
But Instagram is like your one-stop shop to get you to any avenue that you want. But we're also on Patreon doing podcasts over there. We have our website, which is where the meat and potatoes are, like all the stories of every spouse that has participated and wrote for us, which is incredible to get so much wisdom in one place. We also have base guides, style guides, gift guides, you name it, it's there. And then we have Facebook groups, which is a really cool spot for you to be able to connect with each other and kind of take Jen and I out of it, which is very valuable on its own.
No, I've loved those.
Wives of the Armed Forces on all of the handles. And then whenever it comes to Facebook groups, that would be like Wives of the Army, Wives of the Navy, Wives of the Air Force, all branch specific and lockdown and really positive communities.
Yeah, our branch specific I feel like that's another thing for military spouses is dive into your Facebook groups for your new duty station.
Yeah.
Truly best advice.
Yes.
Yep.
But that's been so helpful. You need a pediatrician? Facebook group.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Even if you're just a silent observer, you will get a lot.
Facebook group.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I've loved this conversation with you guys. I know, Kirst, you got to head out, but if you could provide any wisdom to your younger self or a community that is listening, what would you share?
Give it time and enjoy the ride. Yeah. Don't just wish that you're where we've even gotten to, because there was a lot of beauty along the way. I'm even reflecting as I'm back at my initial duty station of how we truly lived it up. Even as crazy as the guys' schedules were, I lived my life here so hard, and now I'm getting to enjoy it in a very different season. And I'm grateful that I didn't hold back in one.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Echoing that is like, be bold and protect your boundaries. Know what's good for you, know what's bad for you. Don't be afraid to protect those. And then when you know what's good for you, like, be bold in pursuing it.
Perfect, ladies. This has been such a blessing of a conversation, and I know it's going to be so good for our military listeners.
Yes. Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening, friend. If today's episode resonated with you, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps our community grow, and I'd be so grateful for your support. Looking for a break from the hurried health lifestyle? Check out my Return to Rest ebook for simple healing habits. And if you're craving a more intentional community, join Restore, the healing collective for the weary woman, a space where we dive into rest with a lens of faith and regular accountability. For more wellness inspiration, follow along at Instagram at WiselyWell or visit livingwiselywell.com for everything from podcast episodes to budget-friendly tips. Thanks again for being part of this community, and I'll see you in the next episode.